Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, the Alzheimer's Association, Sulong Realty, and Boson Hub. For more information on Sulong Realty and their realty.com. And for more information on Boson Hub and their digital media services, go to bosonhub.com. And to learn more about the Alzheimer's Association and the Walk to End Alzheimer's, how to give to this amazing organization, go to alz.org or check out the link to the Walk to End Alzheimer's in the comments. Ta-da! I am just grooving to the music and having a wonderful afternoon. Hope you are too, wherever you are, whatever time it is where you are. You know, I am so excited about my panel today and about our topic. We're going to talk about habits that bring out your best. How do you live your best life now? You know, I did a poll on this a while back and it just blew up. People really deep down want to live their best life now, but how do you do that? What habits can you develop that can really help you? You know, one thing that I have read recently that is an amazing, amazing book that I'm just going to show. It's not even my book. It's not even Befuddled. No, it's High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. It was a great book. If you have not read it, it's an amazing, amazing book. And, you know, when I was reading this, I was thinking about these kind of topics. You know, how do you develop habits to make your life better? And we're going to jump into this topic and we're going to have so much fun. I've got amazing people here who know way more than I do. So I'm just going to get things started and shut up once they all come in. But first, I just wanted to remind you, you get stuck with me for a little bit longer. Sorry, hang tight. Okay, anyway, I am just happy that every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we could be here for you. Different panels, different topics. Last week, if you missed it, you need to go back and you need to look at last week's episode. D. Scott Smith and I were going back and forth. We took the gloves off. We have a differing opinion on failure. And so in the end, we all come to the same realization, or we both come to the same point. But during that, it's just interesting. We have differing opinions. So we had a lot of fun going back and forth. You can find that on my YouTube page. And that would be great if you go there, russreels.live. Just click on that. Takes you to YouTube and you can subscribe right now. Open another tab, open it up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube page. You do not want to miss that episode. It was a great, great time. And while I'm talking about that, it ties into two more things. Number one, my newsletter Monday this week was on, is it really failure? Great quotes, great experts on what failure can do for you. And is there really failure? Or is it just a stepping stone to a better life? And also, I had a poll out on failure here. I think I did that this morning. I can't remember, or yesterday. But there's some great things out there. Love to get your opinions. Love to get your input. When you read my newsletter, please subscribe and make comments because I love to hear what you think about the topics that I bring up. That really, really helps me out a lot. So anyway, but right now, go to russreels.live, sign up for YouTube. That would be great. Come become part of that community. And you can share this out. Share this out right now while people still have a chance to see it while it's live. But if you don't have to catch it live, if you're watching on replay, it's not too late. You can still share it. Yep, you can. You can still share it. So hit that share button, share it out, let people know because it sits there forever. And especially it's great on these. We broadcast on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. It's sitting there for your viewing pleasure whenever you want to do that. And just to let you know, all of these convert to audio podcasts. So if you're driving in your car and you just want to listen to it, you thought that was so good, I want to hear it again. I want to hear what Russ Johns had to say. I want to hear what Roz had to say. Some of the great people that are on the show today, well, you can play it again in your car. There you go. So I'm super excited that you're here today, and I want to get this thing started, but let's just get things rolling. So first off, I want to let you know that one of the great people that was going to be on the show, Robert Petersen, couldn't make it live. So he and I are going to kick the show off. We recorded a little segment yesterday. This will kind of set the mode for the topic today. So let's just jump into it. Here we go. So I'm here with my good friend, Robert Petersen. And you know what? We are talking about habits that bring out your best. And, there's so many things that are critical, Robert, to really starting your day right and really developing the routine and the habits that you want to achieve what you want to achieve. And I know you're going through some of that now. So talk to me about habits that bring out your best life.
Yeah, well, obviously, all of us need routines that set our body in motion, right? Set us to have the very best day. And you and I were kind of talking about those routines for ourselves, right? And for me, it's morning prayer and meditation and time in God's word and a time of journaling, right? I spend a little bit of the morning on my own personal growth and development. But then there's this business time, and we kind of talked about, getting into the heart of the habits that really grow your business. And it's so easy for us entrepreneurs to get stuck in the creative space. Like, I want to create more content. I want to create a blog post, create a video, create social media posts, do all the blah, 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 blah. And those don't grow your business. You need to be making those calls, right? And you need to be doing warm outreach to all your friends and family and people that know you, people that you've built on your list. Then you need to be doing cold outreach and reaching out to 3 or 4 people. And some of that outreach can be that encouragement, right? You talked about making 7 encouragement calls. I've been doing 10 little 30-second videos, just text message, 30-second video. Hey, how you doing? Been thinking about you. Not selling anything, just reinforcing your relationship and your connection. But that sets you up for the sales conversations that are going to come later, right? Because you want to have more touch points. You want to be reaching out. And for the majority of business owners that I work with, leads is a problem. They need more leads. And of course, they need more sales. And the only way to get more leads and get more sales is to be doing the things that create relationship.
Let me jump right in there real quickly and then let you keep going. And that is, you and I are so similar because it really starts with you getting yourself on the right track. I'm with you, prayer and meditation and journaling and all that in the morning, but it really gets my mindset right. And then connecting with those people so that you can get to that step. So keep going. I love it.
Well, and it really is, they talk about eat the frog first, right? Do the harder calls in the morning. If sales calls are a bummer for you, do them first. Get them out of the way and then get proud of yourself, right? Give yourself a prize like woohoo. Or maybe it's your morning coffee. Like, I'm not having that coffee till I've made the calls, right? But give yourself the chance to get that motion and get something positive done. And the power of making a sale, right? When you get off a sales call that a sales happened, that's not the time to quit. That's the time to dig in and do 10 more calls because
Right.
you've got that extra power, extra smile, and extra hop in your step.
That momentum, right? It builds momentum.
Absolutely. So, yeah, obviously making a habit of those things and keeping your lead generation and your calls as part of your daily routine and obligating yourself, even if they're just connection calls or encouragement calls, everybody should be reaching out to 10 people every single day to maintain your relationships, maintain your business. It's just good business to be connecting with people multiple times.
I totally agree. And, we talk about bringing out your best, living your best life. And, when you are passionate and you do these things, it brings out the best in you. It builds that momentum. It takes you to where you want to go. And Robert, I just appreciate you so much because we think so much alike. And we're going to have to continue this conversation with you later. But I appreciate you jumping in today. Thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate you. Glad you're getting better.
Thank you. All right. Hey, we'll see you soon. Well, and there we go. There we go. It was a blessing to talk to Robert. And I just want to tell you that he has got such a great mindset on building habits to make himself better. So we're going to jump right in. And I just want to remind all the amazing panelists here today, let's just do a couple minutes on the intros. And I'm not speaking about anybody in particular, Nupi, but anyway, to make sure we stayed a couple minutes on the intros, and then we're going to get into the topic. So here we go. First off, we're going to bring Roz in the room because she is always so amazing. Here she comes. Rosalinde, woo! How's it going, Roz?
Oh, it's great. And it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you well and up and at it.
Well, I'm happy to be up and at it. And slowly but surely, I'm getting out. I've been actually out of my house for a couple of meetings. It was like, woo!
Wow.
It was pretty exciting. So, yeah. So listen, give everybody a quick intro. Who is Roz and what are you up to?
I'm an executive coach, and I help people in career, leadership, and transition. So whenever someone is in need of change, which is always something, promotion, new jobs, job search, they come and they look for me, interview prep and things like that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I can tell you, I appreciate you just the presence that you bring. So thanks so much for being here. And next we're going to bring in Ingor, who is, well, I was going to bring in Ingor, but she disappeared. So there she is. Okay, let's bring in Ingor. Woohoo!
Woohoo! I was actually just
thought I
talking to
lost
my
you there
kids.
for a second.
I was just talking to my kids actually through the door.
There you go. There you go.
Thank
That's
you.
so-
Thank you for having me on your show, Russ.
You bet.
Always good to get together with you and some amazing people.
So right now, Nupi's backstage trying to distract me. She's trying really hard. But anyway, I'm going to put the screen down so I can't see her. There we go. And so she's trying to get me. She's trying to get me back because I always crack her up on her show and when I'm putting out comments and things like that. Anyway, okay, I digress. Ingor, who are you and what are you up to?
So hi everyone. Thank you for having me, Russ. My name is Ingor van Rooi, and I'm recognized as a connection catalyst. I am all about community. I'm driven by the principle of Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. And I really, truly believe in this principle because who I am today would not be without many of the people that you see on screen with me here, as well as people in the comments, and of course, my community on LinkedIn. So happy to be here. Excited for the conversation, Russ. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. And we are just flying up with information about you. And people ask me, how in the world do you type so fast, Russ? Well, it's because I don't. Because Ever is typing
Thank
so
you,
fast.
Ever.
And she is amazing because she had Ubuntu up almost before you said it. I mean, that was like, does she know you or
Boom,
what?
boom, boom.
Yes,
Okay.
Hi, Ever. Thank you for being here.
All right. So we're going to bring Christine in next because she is ready to roll. Hello, Christine.
Hello. How are you
Hi.
today?
So
Looking good.
great.
Looking good. All of you are
Thank
looking
you.
amazing.
Thank you. It is so good to have you here. And I just appreciate you so much. Give us a little snapshot. Who is Christine and what are you up to?
Who am I today? No. I work in the end of life industry. I'm trying to, for the past 20 years, build collaborations within the death care community to bring resources closer to the professionals. And also I'm moving a little forward into death tech. So it's been pretty exciting. And the last time we talked, I'm still in the same timeline for October rollouts. But if I had to describe myself, it would be a collaborator in the death care end of life industry.
Well, you know what I love about you? You're in an industry that some people are kind of like, oh, really? That's what you're in. But you have such a great attitude that you bring to everything. You just jump in there and you're connecting with people and doing great stuff. So I just appreciate you so much. So
thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm running out of ladies, so I guess I have to bring Nupi in next. There she is. The queen, the glitter queen. I mean, she might be laughing too hard to talk.
You don't understand. I was so, hi, everybody. Hi, Russ. You're looking very well. Hi. Hello, ladies. Oh, my goodness. You don't understand how excited I was that actually I literally managed to finish the patient I was seeing and went, okay, I'm going now. Okay. And then I got on. I was like, I'm going to make a tea. And I thought, oh, sat that. I'll stick some red lipstick on as well. And then I was like, hi, everybody in the green room.
Perfection.
Oh, thanks. Not really. Got me nighty on. Right. So, hello, Russ.
Hello. You have 1 minute left to tell us how amazing the glitter practitioner is.
Oh God, hardly. My glitter's gone all over the place. Seriously, I've been working like a complete bleh. So, I am a GP. I am a doctor, a family physician in the UK. I love what I do. Completely passionate about people and empowering others, really truly how to recognize their needs, keep it in balance, and really align to their truest self. I'm also a speaker and transformation coach, and my program is called Find Your Fizz and Flourish with Dr. Nupi's F List. There you go, done. Oh, and I'm on live with the Glitter Practitioner every Monday at 8 o'clock GMT, which is 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Produced by Big Brother. Produced by Russ.
You do such a great job at that. That is so awesome. So everybody needs to tune into that.
Thanks.
And next on the list here is Mr. Rob Berry. Woohoo!
Hey, what's going on? You know, the next time I see Nupi, I really want to see glitter just flying through the air everywhere. I was a little disappointed I didn't see glitter.
A lot of times I
Oh my
see that,
gosh.
and you don't want to see all the glitter flying through
Well,
the
you
air.
can do. I will look. Pops of it here. No
There she
problem.
goes.
Sorry
You're gonna
to
see glitter
interrupt.
flying?
Off you go.
Okay. Well, she's doing that, Robert. Woohoo!
There you go. Are you ready?
Let's see it.
My Mac is going to get covered, but I'll put it here. Hold on. Can you see it?
Oh, barely. There you go. Robert, save us. Tell us who you are and what are you up to.
All right, so I am Rob Berry, and look, this is what I do. I help finance, accounting, and auditing professionals to become awesome. Now, I do that mostly by helping them improve their soft skills because, you know, we're known for being the life of the party. Not really. But I am a keynote speaker, a corporate trainer, a podcast host, and what I like to do is help people play well with others in the workplace.
Hey, there you go. Well, you know, and that is something we should think about because having a little fun at your job is a good thing. And speaking of having fun at your job, last but not least in our group, Mr. Russ Johns. Great name. Here he is.
What's
up,
up,
Russ?
Captain?
Aye, matey.
We're here.
Woo! Give us a little snapshot,
Oh dear, we're
Russ,
here.
for one person that doesn't know you.
Yeah, I'm Russ Johns. I'm known for the Pirate Syndicate and the Pirate Broadcast, and really my mission in life is to help more people, Russ. And I know that we've experienced that together. And the reality is everyone has a gift, everyone has a message, and we have an opportunity to share it now. So much more than we ever have in the past. And I just really want everyone to understand that you don't have to be overwhelmed. You don't have to be, afraid of technology. There's ways to get through this and get past it. And I want to help you get that direction. So I do a daily newsletter, and I do, I've got some shows coming up and getting ready to launch as well. So I look forward to adventure together.
That is so awesome. You know, from the beginning, Russ, you have been such a huge, huge inspiration to me. And I just am you're such a great friend and I appreciate you. So we're going to jump into our topic today. And, you know, I was having a conversation with my daughter a while back, and we were talking about people preparing for things and alleviating future problems. So she could see problems coming on the horizon of something, and she was wondering why they weren't developing habits and systems that could easily overcome those problems. And I was thinking, if we want to live our best life and we want to develop habits that help us do that, how do we look at things and what habits should we be thinking about, Roz?
Oh, that's a great conversation to have with your child, I want you to know. So when we think about habits and routines, I'd like to just take it just down a couple of notches and think about first, what is that motivation that you have in terms of what is it that you want to do? Because, habits are something that once they're formed, they're very hard to break. So the only way to break the habit is to change it, replace it, ignore it. So what is the motivation behind what you want? Because it's not what you want to stop. If it's a bad habit, it's really what it is that is motivating you. What are you willing to do to get to that place? You know, when clients come in and they're in a job search, are you willing to take the time out every single day to look for that job, to go and connect and to network? Because if the motivation isn't the foundation, then you're probably going to be struggling in terms of creating the habit, which is going to be the routine. So,
yeah. And those, this is such an important thing to be considering in business, but in your life total, right, Ingor? I mean, you get to the point where you're thinking, what can I really do? And there are some simple things you can put in place in your life, some good habits. Robert at the beginning brought up his morning routine, which I have a similar morning routine, and that's great for getting my day started, getting me on the right track. What do you think, Ingor?
Yeah, I think it's always good to cultivate good habits, but there are so many habits that we can choose from, right? And I think the best thing is really to look at who you are, what your goals are, and then choose the right habits that fit in with who you are and your goals, and also your routine as well. I know for you, you open your eyes and you practice gratitude. That's the first thing that you do, and that's the same for me. I believe that it is important for me to do that, to count my blessings, but I don't just do it at the beginning of my day. I do it throughout the day, and it's the small things, the big things, and I learned that from my mom. It's really, you know, when you find a parking in the mall, at the mall, saying thank you for that, right? Because trust me, if you don't, just try going without one next time and circling that parking lot, right? So gratitude is definitely an important habit that we need to cultivate, and it's part of also being a positive person.
Yeah, no, it is. And I think my habit has been learning to avoid the mall and avoid shopping. So, and I've done a pretty good job at developing that habit.
I can imagine. I wonder who does the shopping then.
yeah.
Oh, it's great having an adult daughter that lives close by because she goes out with my wife and I can, I don't have to shop. But hey, Christine, what do you think about in your business or any business? It doesn't really matter what industry you're in order to really cultivate a good culture and a good plan to make yourself successful, you need some good habits, right?
That's true. It's true. I'm going to start from the evening because everybody has started from what they do when they wake up in the morning. But my nighttime ritual is really important to me, to conserve energy throughout the day, dealing with health issues and working. So at night, it's critical that I make my to-do list. And Roz was talking about, having a goal that you need to get to. So I always keep my goal right in front of me. It's important to me to stay focused when I'm not having a good day and when and gratitude is the key to all of my day. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed. I remember it's really hard to be in a bad mood after you just made yourself thankful for everything around you. It's really hard to just flip the switch and be in a bad mood. But for me, it's muscle memory, but I'm always bringing a new technique into my life. That's my growth. So I'll stick with something for a little while. The whole routine gets tweaked by maybe one new habit. So maybe it's wake up and have a protein shake first and take care of my nutritional needs because if I get tired. So it's really for me lists.
I think what's beautiful about what you said is I have learned to develop a nighttime routine along with my morning routine because I wake up strong, I end the day strong, and it makes a big difference, right, Nupi?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think it is consistency, and you can get lost in what's going on. And all of a sudden, before you know it, everything just feels like you're not in that balance anymore. And it is so important to bring it back to self and stop and pause and think and reflect. And I've been doing this because my working life has gone completely cray cray, and I've got very, very little time at this minute to do anything else. And I've made absolute peace with that. And the time I have free, I am investing into me. So I'll go and sit outside and just listen to the birds, meditate, clear myself, and nourish back what I need. I haven't got energy to expend. I'll do a little bit on LinkedIn, on social media, but hardly.
A little bit for your big bro.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And this to me, because I'm with you guys and I can see it in my face, it just energizes me because it's just beautiful. It's a safe space and I love this. But it's picking and choosing wisely. I know what drains me and I keep myself boundaried. I have to. Otherwise,
Right.
I feel, oh my gosh, it's too much for me. And then I get overwhelmed. And
More like befuddled?
hi, Gabe. Pardon? Yes.
More like
befuddled.
befuddled?
Yes, befuddled. Live the life you choose. I couldn't resist. So to me right now,
You know
I
what?
know it's
Nupi, that is so great
Yes.
because I think talking about a balance with what you're doing, there is so
Yeah.
much you could do and so many habits. Sometimes people are taking on other people's habits, right, Rob?
Yeah.
They're expanding to trying to not be themselves because somebody else does something well. And what do you think about that, Rob? You got to really be yourself still, right?
Absolutely. So, you know what? I'm glad you asked me that question because here's what I think. I think that what we do is we try to tackle too much too soon. So okay, I'm gonna get a little personal with you. I used to be one of these people that had everything in order. I woke up at the same time every day. I exercised at the same time, ate the same time. Everything was in order. And then all of a sudden we had this small thing called the pandemic that kind of threw everybody into a tizzy, right? I actually lost my job, lost my home, lost everything, and then tried to build everything back. Now, where I failed is that I tried to build everything back at once, and I didn't understand that you can't do that. So for me, I think building habits comes in three different things. First, start small. Again, we try to tackle too much too soon. Think about this. January 1st of every year, what do people do? They go to the gym. I'm going to get in an exercise habit. And then on January 2nd, they fall off because you have to start small. Every big habit is a series of mini habits. So the first thing you do is wake up for about a week at the time that you want to go to the gym. Don't get up out of bed yet. Just wake up. Then you get up out of bed and you wake up, and for about 5 minutes, you exercise at home. You increase that to 10 minutes. Then finally you go to the gym, and then you do habit stacking, but we take on too much too soon. So the first thing you got to do is start small. Then you got to have a plan. And then the third thing you have to do is measure your progress, because then you can look back and be proud of how far you've come from just sitting in the bed at 4 a.m. dreaming about the gym to actually going there. And then you have to not really care about some of the other stuff. Some stuff has to go. We take on too much too quickly. And I found that to be a personal struggle in trying to build back good habits. And once I started small and set small goals, I can celebrate the small things. And then you do it so much, it becomes ingrained, and then you move on to the next thing. Sorry, that was a lot, but that's my take.
No, that was good. Total mic drop there, because habit stacking, I think, is important when you're taking one step at a time and you're not trying to take everything on. And somebody brought it up already, consistency. I think the habit of exercise, Russ Johns, I think that everybody does exactly what Rob said. Instead of doing what they can do consistently, if you can walk around the block only once a day and you can consistently do that that should be your start of your exercise, right? And so whatever you're doing, I think it's important to not overdo it. Go ahead and expand on that, Russ.
Yeah, thank you, Russ. One of the things that I was thinking about when Rob was talking about that is the rhythm. I think of things in terms of rhythm, and just like you plant your seeds, you harvest your crops, and there's always going to be something that will flourish, and things that you have to weed your garden. And what I really think about is how we have to say no to so many things. If you're going to say yes, you also have to say no for many things, and overwhelming yourself, just like Rob was saying, is like, you can't have everything all at once hit you, because then it becomes overwhelming. And if you just look for improvements every single day, you learn something new, you get out, you breathe, you move, you wake up with gratitude, you enjoy the day, you meditate, and you journal, whatever you happen to do as a habit. Create those small habits that allow you to nurture and build your rhythm up. And as that rhythm becomes more clear to you, your destination, your goals become much clearer, and you can actually articulate what it is and make sure that you have an end in mind, so you can actually achieve that goal.
Right. And I think clarity is so, so critical in everything we do. And right now, I just want to encourage everybody that is watching, do me a favor right now. This is such a great discussion with so many amazing people. Everybody right now, tag somebody they know that's not watching that could use some better habits in life, or maybe they have amazing habits they can share in the comments with us. So love to get you to share this out, and also let us know where you're tuning in from, because we love to have you here. Thanks everybody who's here already. And so thanks for that. So listen, Roz, we're going to jump back to you. Mm-hmm. And, you are never at a loss for words. And so I'm just going to let you take it. There you go. I mean, profound words.
Well, jumping off and echoing what Rob and Russ were saying, they're deliberate choices. We have to make deliberate choices. There's intention behind the choice we make. And we really have to also look at, what is our willpower? What can we do to strengthen the willpower? Because, getting up, and trying to go to the gym, what is going to be triggering you if you're not going to do it? So to strengthen the willpower, it's to look at where is that weakness in the link. So if you know that it's hard for you to get up in the morning to go to the gym, well, maybe change the time to after work and put your, gym bag in the car, and you have no choice but to go straight from work. So it's like finding that link of, am I going to be strong enough? And taking out that trigger. Look at where you are at that moment. What's that cue? If I'm passing by the donut shop and I'm smelling the donuts, that's my cue to walk in and buy the donut. So maybe find another way to go to work instead of passing by the donut shop. So really increasing the strength in your willpower to make that deliberate and intentional choice.
Well, I couldn't agree with that more. And right now, I just would like to be vulnerable and say I'm really missing donuts because
I'm so hungry.
Since I have become a type 1 diabetic, I cannot have donuts. So it's a real bummer. So anyway,
you
I'm really
can have
missing
a
donuts.
tiny one. You can
just
have
like
a baby
I would
one.
throw that out. Yeah, I could have an itty bitty one. I could have a bite. But anyway, what I really love about what you said is your intentionality and your triggers. And when I was reading Atomic Habits by James Clear, for those people that have read that, he talks about that. And when he talked about prepping for things like set out your exercise gear and your tennis shoes when you're going to take a walk or you're going to exercise, set out your Bible if you want to get up and do Bible reading in the morning. And I was thinking, when he first started off with that, I was thinking, woohoo, I am doing great because I do that every day. And then he went on, and then I realized I wasn't doing so great after all, but I started really good. But I like the idea of preparing and having triggers in front of you. Ingor, what are your thoughts on that?
I actually want to follow up with what Ross said, because
Go ahead.
for me, I'm a really big picture kind of person. And when I start breaking things down, I can get lost in the weeds. So something that I actually recently learned, like probably in the last 2 months, is instead of taking a goal, a big, bold, audacious goal, I should set little ones for myself, because it makes it so much more attainable. And just breaking it down into those little bite-sized chunks has helped me to do more things that are really good for me, but I was resisting because I was like, oh crap, I was overwhelmed with all the details. So that's really what I do. What I'm now doing is just setting smaller goals for myself. Not saying like I want to write a whole book. Say I want to write a page a day or a page a week. Something that is attainable, that, you know what, honestly, something that you can actually look at it and say, is that it? Because then your mindset changes and you strive to do it instead of feeling overwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing for sure. Well, listen, Christine, pick it up from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback with Rob. I'm a strong believer in the celebrating the small victories, and I had kind of wrote 4 things down before I came on to the show today, and that one's important to me. As Roz was talking about the donuts, I was checking to see what time Honey Fluff Donuts closes because it's time to celebrate. Every day. I have this thing, KISS, keep it simple. I've heard it a bunch of different ways, but we know it's keep it simple, silly, stupid, whatever. 4 things I have to bite off every day. My KISS is the things that I absolutely don't want to do, like go get my real ID at the DMV, or a report or something like that. There's 4. I don't give myself more than 4, but I get those 4 done. I'm getting donuts or some sort of treat at the end. I'm at home most of the time. So, just the idea of being able to get up and get out and change the scenery, those are celebrating my victories in the small way that I can. No matter how you feel, your finances or whatever, you can't just wait for everything to be perfect before you celebrate it. So, I get through this with the show, and I get donuts.
Well, there you go. I mean, I think that's a good treat.
I want to talk about one other thing. This was that frog. I can't get it off of my mind. He's talked about eating the frog first.
Yeah.
What is that saying? Eating the frog first is doing the worst thing first, right?
Yeah.
I eat the frog.
There you go.
Yes. My four habits, and I celebrate them all. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Nupi, take it from there.
So I think it is being aware, really aware, and recognizing what's really going on and what it is you're feeling, and paying attention to that. And it is what Ross said earlier. It's paying attention with intention. There's a focused purpose, and it's being realistic with yourself. That's the overall thing, because you can have all these great ideas and then it can fall by the wayside, and then all you're going to do is potentially beat yourself up. And I think along the way is have fun. You've got to have, and it's what I was saying right from the beginning, and it's what Diane commented in comments. It's that balance of mind, body, soul, and it's recognizing when you're tipping out of balance. What does that feel like? I know for me, personally, if I'm out of balance, it can feel very overwhelming, and all of a sudden I'm in my head too much, and it just becomes all a bit and then it's just literally remembering, okay, breathe, come back to the basics and break it all back down again. Do the first thing, do what's important, and just keep it into to these tiny little baby steps is what I would say.
Yeah. Well, I think that is really good lesson for all of us, not to take too much up. And Rob, you're the one that actually started this conversation about taking it in small steps. And I think we do tend to overwhelm ourselves, don't we, with things that we do. We do tend to just bite off more than we can chew. There's one of those sayings. Anyway, go ahead, Rob.
All right, so I'm going to share something real personal because I said earlier, start small, have a plan, and then measure your progress. So for the last year and a half to two, I have felt like crap. I became extremely inflamed and swollen, and I was bleeding from places that blood should not be coming from. I didn't know what was wrong. I was scared. I went to the doctor. I had a bunch of tests run. Now, what I ended up finding out was that after being on this earth for almost 50 years, now I'm lactose intolerant. And what that means is your system will wreak havoc on itself if you have anything that's dairy related. Now, granted, I've never had this problem before, but I had to change my entire lifestyle and develop new habits. And so to me, it came with 3 C's. First, consistency. I had to now watch what I was eating on a consistent and regular basis. And that was hard. So that means I had to do number 2, which was communicate. The people that are around me in my life, I had to tell them, help me with this. I need your help because I don't know what I'm doing. But if I continue doing what I'm doing, I probably won't be around for long. And then the third thing I had to do was care about what it was that I was doing. So I had to have consistency. I needed to communicate with people, and I needed to care about what it was that I was doing, because quite frankly, it was pretty bad. We thought that there was some serious and significant things happening to me. I gained 15 pounds. I was swollen. Again, I was bleeding everywhere. That wasn't good. But I had to change all of my habits. And now I'm getting back on track with small habits to help me with exercising and eating.
That's so good. Well done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
I think
really
a lot of times too, we are, we have to be almost, as we would say, Nupi, rattled awake, right? Nupi and I were both part of that project, writing this book. We have to be rattled awake. And part of that for me, Robert, with the health part for me was the changes that I went through that were forced, that maybe I didn't want to suddenly become a diabetic. I didn't suddenly want to, develop cancer and have to go through that. But what it did is it changed a lot of things about me. What I was intentional about, one of them was eating. Sometimes it takes things in our life to really rattle us awake, to really get us on the right path. Russ Johns, what do you think? Are you there, Russ?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Oh,
I was thinking about this, and the biggest lessons I've ever had in my life and the biggest transformations have taken during the most tragic circumstances. And I wouldn't want to wish that on anyone. However, the result is that we actually create a decision. We have to create a decision not to eat the donut, to go to the doctor and find out what's going on. Be in the hospital and know that your life is, it has an ending. It has an end date. And the reality is we make decisions every single day along our journey in order to accomplish what we believe is our goal. And ultimately, the goal has to be that we need to be able to create value. We need to help those around us. We need to support each other. And I think a little kindness and a few smiles go a long way. And the reality is we make these decisions, and the longer we stick with them, the better our habits. The better our habits, the more we achieve. So it's just a matter of compounding those, and like Rob said earlier, skill stacking. Stacking those elements in place and allowing them to be part of our life instead of something we do once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, and you know that I'm the big live the life you choose guy, and I think that is so critical, because what we choose transforms where we are and where we go, right? Because based on our choices, we're going to take better care of our health, or we're not going to take worse care of our health. We're going to be very successful in business, or we're going to fall apart in business. There's so many choices we make. And even the things that everybody always says to me, yeah, but I can't choose about all this lousy, crummy stuff that is happening to me. Yes, you're right. There's a lot of crazy, lousy things that happen, but you get to choose where to go from that, and where do you take it.
Yes.
And so you guys, this is such a great conversation. So we're on the last round here. And so Roz, you're up. And I want you to give everybody your final gold nuggets and your final comments, and then let them know how they get in touch with you. Go for it.
So I was thinking about the title of this show, and I was thinking about the philosopher Lao Tzu. He would say, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits. Watch your, they become your character. They become, ultimately, it's going to be your destiny. So if you have good habits, it'll be your destiny to have good routines. If you have bad habits, it will be bad routines. So it's that intention and that motivation, and looking at the trigger and the weakness of where do you want to be, and how badly do you want to be there? And what are you willing to do to get there?
Yeah. No, that is so well said. And how do people get in touch with you, by the way?
LinkedIn. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to add, have community. Just like Ingor has that community connection, nothing really can happen on your own. We can't do this on our own. We can't. Yep. It's almost impossible. So it's one of the reasons why, people go to the gym to go and see other people. Have a little fun with it. Add some fun in it so that you can have a sense of community while you're doing it. LinkedIn.
There you go. Well, I'm telling you, Zig Ziglar said it, you build the people and then the people build your business. But I say, build the people and the people build your life. Community is the foundation of everything that we do. It really is. So Ingrid, take it away.
2 things. Like Ross said, community is everything. And I want to remind us all, even myself, no man is an island. If you are feeling overwhelmed, reach out and ask someone for help. Someone, anyone. Just reach out. And then you mentioned the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, Russ. And I want to highlight one of my favorite quotes from there, which is as follows. All big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision. So
there you go. That's excellent.
And you can find me on LinkedIn. That's the best place. Thank you very much for hosting, Russ.
You bet. It's always so great. I am blessed with so many wonderful friends. And the next one up, Christine, you're up.
We are all in a wonderful place. The transitions, the hard stuff that had to take place for whatever reason, we made it through. And we're still willing to share. And that to me is just magical, to find the community that I have, new connections on LinkedIn, and reaching out to mentor people or just be helpful. And it does take a tribe. So I'm so glad to have my tribe. It's like, maybe an hour or two before I start my evening ritual, but I'm going to start it just a little bit early. And my first thing that I want to be thankful for is that we all made it to the show today, and we all got to feel each other and share. And you can reach me on LinkedIn, but also 708-215-1190. Ross is like, you're so stupid.
Well, you know what? I just want to say thank you, Christine, for being here today. But it is, when we talk about the little things we were talking about, it doesn't take much to be thankful. And I always talk about the hashtag 1000 thanks movement. And everybody, we should keep using that. It's just a reminder for us to be thankful. Whatever triggers thankfulness in you, you can be thankful so much for the little things in life, because the little things aren't so little anymore, right, Nupi?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm
thankful you're still awake.
I'm so grateful and thankful that I could be here. And, I've got shiny eyes and I'm genuinely like, oh, this is just beautiful. And it's great to share the space. And I think my final glitterfying nuggets for this talk is, you always have the power to choose, and that never goes away. So in any given situation, you get to steer what happens next. You get to choose whether you respond to something or you take a big step back, reflect, reset, and then move forward with it. And I think sometimes we forget you feel like you have to just instantly keep doing, and I'll go to that thing, or I must respond here. Just slow everything down and take your time. Truly realign to yourself and then make those choices. Yeah. And that, I think, is such a powerful, it's very empowering. And I've been taking all your habits and going, yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. And already I feel like I've reset myself. And that sounds ridiculous, but for somebody who's F-bombing left, right, and center, and it's sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and go, okay, I see what I need to do as well. So thank you, everybody. Yes, and I've got my tribe here and the community. I mean, my women are here, my girls are here. I've got you. And that's just amazing. So thank you.
And I am thankful you're here, and that we're on our family show, that you're not dropping F-bombs. Okay.
I was very good tonight.
So how do people get in touch with you?
Oh, yeah.
It may just be below you.
Oh, wow. That is good. Thank you, Eva. I love you so much. Thank you so much. You can get hold of me right here on LinkedIn, direct message me, and all my details are there basically. And also you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, all under The Glitter Practitioner. And if you can't get hold of me, just get hold of Russ, because then he'll get hold of me.
There you go. She's got a plan. There you go.
Plan, exactly.
All right, Rob, you're up.
So, Russ, I sent you some virtual donuts, my friend, because I miss donuts too. I really do miss them. Here's what I think. I think that oftentimes fear leads us to an effort moment. And then when we have that effort moment, we kind of have this knee-jerk reaction, and we start doing things that we should have been doing all along, but we were too afraid to do them. And so now we're forced into them. And then we start comparing ourselves to others because we see that it looks like they have everything together and everything is perfect, when really what they are doing is the same thing that we're doing. They're starting small, and we see the good, but we don't know what the other stuff that's happening behind the scenes. They also have a plan, and then they measure their progress. So going back to what I said earlier, start small, have a plan, measure your own progress, and be satisfied and happy in what it is that you're doing without that kind of comparison to other people.
Right. Very
Yeah.
wise.
That
Very
is
nice.
so good. That is so good. And Rob, how do people get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me right here on LinkedIn, especially if you are looking for a kick butt keynote speaker for your conference. I am Barry Robert, so it's backwards on LinkedIn. I have a YouTube channel. Also, you can find myself and Doreen Benamara here every Saturday morning, except for August. We're taking a break with the Good Morning LinkedIn live show and podcast.
Yes, and your show was one of the, I don't know if it was early on probably in my LinkedIn career. And you took a look at my website on that show. And what I loved about you from the beginning, Rob, is that such a honest, authentic person that that was willing just to kind of tell me how it was. And that's really what I was looking for too. And I just love your honesty and you're just an awesome guy. So I appreciate you so much. So, all right, Russ Johns, you are up next. Take it away.
I will be here now. So, as we're thinking through this, Russ, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and a lot of tremendous, just tremendous value in the ideas and the concepts. But I want to remind everybody that as we go through life, sometimes the obstacles are the opportunities, and once we learn how to navigate and maneuver through these challenges and learn from them, that becomes a skill that we can carry for the rest of our life. So enjoy the journey, enjoy every day. And I want to say, following up with what Ingor said was, a quote that I like is from Bansky, and it's, if you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. So stay with it, everyone. If you need to reach out, if you need assistance and you need support, everybody on this call is willing and able to support you in some way. And sometimes it's just a matter of listening and paying attention and picking up the phone. So please, do everything you can, because kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And we're here for a reason.
Well, I love that. And I live my life by your hashtags, Russ. And that is kindness is cool and smiles are free. I love that. I have a tough time not putting that on every single post that I put out. But it's your thing, so I can't steal it every time. But every now and then I give you credit for that.
Share
I always, that's very naughty, Russ, because whenever I use that hashtag, I always say hashtag Pirate King. I always refer it back to
Pirate
Russ.
King. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is the Pirate King.
There
You
you
know
go.
what? Let me add something to that, though. Smiles are definitely free to give, but very valuable when you receive them.
Yes.
No, that's so true. That is so true. That could be a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But for today, everybody, so that I can use this show in the future, I'm going to wrap it up because I've got to stay under an hour. So for those of you who know StreamYard, you understand why that is. So anyway, listen, everybody, I appreciate y'all being here. This has been amazing. We're going to wrap the show up with everybody on the screen. Everybody give a great screenshot, smile, go. There you go. Ever will take one of those. And I just appreciate y'all for being here. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. This has been an amazing topic.
Thank you.
Until next time. See you Thursday next week at 4 p.m. Pacific. Bye, everybody. Woo-hoo.
Bye.